Hello, I'm Samantha Simpson, and we're going to do a bowspring flow today. Although all bowspring poses and the bowspring template in general requires and seeks a uniform tone around the bone, the sequence what we'll be doing today will pay particular attention to the activation of the backside of the leg, the hamstrings, the calves, and the glutes. So while that should be turned on all the time during the practice today, scan your body continuously to see if you're engaged back there. It will really help. We'll start in a standing position at the top of your space. Have some blocks set aside. We'll use those in a little bit. Feet hip width apart. Pause, press firmly into the earth. Feel your heart rise, rib cage expand circumferentially. Arms in the forward plane, they're straight but not locked. Imagine your armpits lifting and a breath between the shoulder blades. Soften your belly. Find a uniform engagement around each bone. Nothing too tight, nothing too weak. And you can find an energetic pulse or bounce if that takes you. Explore it. Use that also, that gentle, subtle movement, slide, glide, or bounce, to inform your practice, to tell you whether or not you are in the bowspring or if you're locked out. Imagine that rib cage circumferentially expanding, full of lightness, lifts and breaks away from the rootedness of the hips and the limbs. Imagine the head space lifts, the crown of the head lifts, the palate lifts, the tongue lifts. And step wide, step wide. Step narrow, letting the toes touch first. A couple times here, wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Allowing your hips to sway with it. Hop wide, hop narrow, hop wide, hop narrow. Sit the hips back. Weight the right side. Dig, drag the left. So keep a flex at the ankle, a bend in the knee, and a crease in the front of the hip through all poses. Sit the hips back. Heart hovers. Lead with your hips. And like a ninja, step back, touch back, tribal lunge. Back foot aims diagonally forward. And then come back to the spot. Other side. Weight the left, dig, drag right, lead with the hips. Like a ninja, step back, land specifically your foot, the back foot is at angle forward. That's the tribal lunge. We're equal in both legs. The backs of the legs are turned on. So I'm not straightening one or shifting back. Both knees point forward. It's a ready position. Step forward. Other side, dig, drag, like a ninja, step back, tribal lunge. Stay here. Get deep in tribal lunge. Slide the right arm inside of the right thigh, seed hand, and use that as a strut to open up the thigh. Hips pull back. Dig, drag the paws of the feet into the earth. Dig them in. Drag them back. Find that hamstring engagement of the standing legs. Bring the top arm to ecstasy. Chin in line with the sternum. Bow your belly. Get long here. Booty back, belly long. And then arc the rib cage. Bow again, belly long, arc. And you can find a pulse here. Find space. Maybe start to tilt the head, right ear to right shoulder. Release the top arm. Reach it away from you. Cup up underneath your armpit. Take the bottom arm to your shin and bring the legs more straight but not locked. You can even use a block here for triangle pose. The belly's bowed. Hollows behind the knees. We find that strength in the back of the leg by keeping a bend there, sucking up action behind the knees. Pause, draw back. And with integrity, we float the ribs up and step back to the place. Reset with a little seaweed sway. Dig, drag, left, step back, tribal lunge. Left arm inside the left thigh. Activation, the backs of the legs. Right arm, ecstasy. Bow your belly. Arc your ribs. Bow once more. Find a pulse. Slide the bottom hand towards the shin. Top arm reaches forward, cupping out the armpit, or utilize a block here. Tilt left ear to left shoulder. And maintaining integrity in the roots. Float the ribs, and dig, drag, step back to the space. Seaweed sway. Hips back. Dig, drag, right. And step your right foot back, high lunge. So it's just a short lunge in the bowspring. The hips go back and then lower down. Kneeling position. Untuck the right toes. Come to hero foot. So we'll start with that flat ankle on the floor and then start to lift the ankle up a couple inches to get that engagement going on, that hollow under the ankle. Sit the hips back, so hips are behind both knees. Spring load action in the hips. Really dig the left paw into the earth, so this front foot is really digging in the paw, front part of my foot. Digs into the ground, and then the heel drags backward energetically. So this whole back leg is energized right now. That enables me lightness in the top of the body to do what I'm doing right now. Sit the hips back. Arc to the right. Reach down, right fingertips. Dome hand slides to spring. Bring the left hand to ecstasy. You can set the hips back here and arc the left ribs towards the ceiling, mantis. Maintaining engagement in those legs. The back sides of the legs on here really assist in the rooting so you can rise in the ribs. Now stay here or open leg, left. Left seat to left knee, hips back, belly long, And tilt the right ear to right shoulder. Left neck gets long here. Narrow your knees. Fiesta flare the foot. And bicycle here to check tone. Cross the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Shift the hips back and float your heart. Arms at the horizon. So you can use your blocks here and find a dome hand for a deep opening of the hip with leg engagement involved. Or you might even be able to find the posture with the fingertips on the floor. Now check here that you don't succumb to a tail tuck here, trying to get low. Staying at the blocks and maintaining integrity of the bowspring will get you deeper in the hips and maintain that healthy uniform engagement. And step the left foot to meet the right. Spring load the hips back. And step the right foot forward. See if you can land toes first. Dig the right paw into the earth now. Energetically drag it back, turning on the hamstring and the calf. Maintain the hollow of the back foot here. And check that your foot is in alignment. So avoid sickling the ankle in. See if you can make the outside of the ankle shorter. This will help you with the balance too. Couple pulses here. And then sit the hips back. Crescent left, touchdown dome. Dome slides to spring. Maintaining that strength in the legs. And the right hand comes to ecstasy. Shift the hips back. Reach the ribs towards the ceiling. Let your left ear go to left shoulder. Right neck gets long. And from here, you can stay here, or take right leg, open leg, narrow the knees, fiesta flare the foot, and tilt the ear to the left shoulder. Maybe some bicycle pedals here to check your engagement. And then cross the right foot in front of the left knee. Send the hips back, float the rib cage. Pulse, ready cap. Stay here, or find length with the blocks, dome hands. Check your pulse. Maybe even fingertips to floor for a deeper engagement. Float your heart. Step right foot forward. Belly long. Glutes engaged. Come to stand. And take a little seaweed sway here. From a standing position, weight the left foot, dig drag the right, square leg. Maintain the flex of the ankle, the bend in the knee, and the crease in the front of the joint throughout. Touch two seeds together, double seed, and start to shift the heart forward. That right square leg goes out behind you. Maintain integrity. So the back of the leg is strongly engaged right now. It's turned on. Bring left hand to ecstasy and touch right hand down to the floor. Rebound, come back up. Repeat. 2. Keep the back of the leg engaged. Keep the hips level. 3. It's easier in this pose if you open the hip up, but you've lost the back action of the leg when you did that. So keep the hips level as you go down. See what I'm saying? This is harder than that. That's easy. Step to the spot. Assimilate. Weight the right. Dig, drag left. Left leg, square leg. Hips back, knees forward. Double seed the hands. Shift the heart forward and shift the back leg back. Propeller pose. So pretend like somebody's grabbing your back leg and pulling it towards them, and you're trying to pull the opposite direction. Like you're going to crack an egg behind your knee. The back of the leg's turned on. Bring the right hand to ecstasy. Touch down, rebound. Maybe just touch your block. 1. 2. Keep integrity of the pose. Heart full. 3. And place it back in the spot. To simulate earth pose. Heart full. Expanding all the way around. Belly long. Head lifts. Finally, weight the right foot. Step the left one back. High lunge. And lower down. Set the hips back. Step your right foot to meet the left. High knees. Spring load the hips back. Keep the heart buoyant. Reach dome hands forward. Touch down dome hands. Slide to spring. And come to all fours pose. Simplify in all fours pose. So find the expansion of your radiant heart, the whole rib cage. Let's start by bringing our chin to our chest, bowing, finding the full expansion of the rib cage. From the top ribs to the bottom ribs, they lift and float. Keep that full expansion as you press the tops of the feet to the floor to lift the ankle hollow, space between the ankle and the floor. Tailbone lifts, but ribs stay lifted too. It's like cat and cow pose at the same time. Yes. Now, lengthen both sides of the neck. Check for spring action available in the arms. We're not locking here. Elbows turn out. And we'll shift the weight to the right and lift the left leg, square leg. So again, keep the flex in the ankle. Keep a bend in the knee, of course, 90-degree bend in square leg. And see if you can keep a crease in the front of the hip here. So if we lift it up too high, we flatten the front of our hip. We still want that crease there. The tendency when lifting one leg up like this is to collapse in the ribs, but don't let that happen. Stay full, stay buoyant. And then bring it down. Shift to the left and right leg, square leg. Keep the flex in the ankle, 90-degree bend in the knee and crease in the front of the hip. Think about the back side of your leg. And touch down. Simplify in all fours pose. And then tuck the toes under, lift up, crouching cat. So same thing here, the heart's full, heart moves forward and up, hips move backward and up. Lightness. Dig, drag your left paw, take a square leg on the left. One-legged cat. Spring load. Swivel on the right paw. And then the left hand domes. Left leg, open leg. And then cross, left ankle in front of the right knee. Touch back down, left dome to spring. Swivel the right foot back to the place and lower down. Slowly, knees come to the floor. Heart stays full. Falcon. Move the hips side to side, forward and back. Find the uniform tone of the back of the leg by even lifting the back foot off the floor. Hamstring hug. Tuck the right toes under. Lift back up and transition back to one-legged cat. Back to crouching cat. Couple pulses. And right leg, square leg. Find your fullness here. And then swivel the left toes to the left. Right leg, open leg. You can keep a right fingertip connection here, or take the right C to right knee, resisting one into the other. Tilt the left ear to the left shoulder. And then return, right fingertips, dome to spring. Swivel left toes back forward, cross right ankle over left knee. Heart floats, hip floats as you lower down, falcon. Hamstring hug, left thigh. And tuck the left toes under. Lift back up, crouching cat. And then from here, we're gonna just swivel toes and knees to the right. And then swivel toes and knees to the left. Really getting into the floor here. So test your grip on the floor with your paws by dragging the heels back. When you swivel, keep your heels lower. So like it's a low-heeled shoe you're wearing. When you're twisted with the toes and knees to the right, sit your hips down on the floor by your heels. Let your ribs rise, let your ear caress your right shoulder, the left neck, so long here. And slide to the side. Roll your head back. Roll your heart back, roll your hips back, feet come to the floor, and then supine shift One body part at a time back to your mat. Bring the hands over your shoulders, fingertips touch the floor, chin up bar with dome hands, elbows towards the ceiling. We'll cross the right knee over the left and maintaining the bow in the belly, the head pressure back to the floor. Slowly rotate both knees to the left and the left arm can go on the right knee. Allow your right shoulder to lift off the floor. Maintain right elbow pointing at the ceiling and check your chin. It lines up with your sternum or your chest. And then rotate back to your back, chin up bar arms, switch the legs. Slowly lower both legs to the right, right hand pressures left knee. Allow the left shoulder to come off the floor, chin in line with your breastbone. Head back, heart full, hips back. Slide the right arm long overhead and bring the left forearm out in front of you. And then shift to your belly. And then supine shift back to your center space. Take one hand in a fist and then wrap that fist with your other hand for rosebud hand. Bring your forehead onto the fist. And walk your ribs away from your hips, getting maximum length in the waistline. Pressure your knees into the earth. Pressure the tops of the feet into the earth. Look for that back leg activation here as well. The hips move away from the floor, so a small animal might be able to crawl underneath your hips right here. And then walk your elbows forward. Press your palms together, prayer hands. Sit the hips back even more. Fill your ribs even more. And hamstring hug the backs of the legs. Tummy time, belly long, heart full. Windshield wiper the legs side to side, maintaining that hamstring hug engagement, keeping central channel open. And then release. Assimilate in prone bow if you feel comfortable, or come to your back for assimilation. Take several minutes here in relaxation to allow the body to connect what it just learned, maybe an activation you've never felt before, so it can connect that to a different part of your life. Feel it in your everyday movement. Make it a part of your new normal. To be fully engaged and fully present. Stay here for a moment and enjoy this time to yourself. Namaste.